It's a recommendation to adopt a resolution naming the baseball field at Immokalee Community Park the Stephen J. Dodson Memorial Baseball Field, and it's sponsored by Chair McDaniel.
Well, do we have any public speakers registered for this item, Troy?
I'm sorry, for 10B, for this item?
Yes.
No, I don't have registered speakers for it.
Well, I know there are a couple of people. Mr. Wilcoxon, would you like to lead us off? Yes, sir. Please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Larry Wilcoxon. I grew up in Immokalee, Florida. I met Steve my sophomore year at Florida State when I came home to visit. He was more than a police officer. He was a man of just integrity. He was a teacher. He was a preacher. He was a comedian. He was everything pretty much more than a police officer. And I really wish more law enforcement officers can be like Stephen. Stephen became a real good friend of mine. And we all old enough in here to remember the show Starsky and Hutch. Well, I was his Huggy Bear. I really was. And things that he needed in the community, the people he wanted to know about, I gave him the 411. He did a great job. It wasn't about just locking people up. It was about understanding people, how to make people better, how to make their lives better. You know, me and his mother was just talking about how when he go on vacation, like he would save all like the lotions and shampoos and stuff, and he would put them in bags and give them to the people of Immokalee, which is a very impoverished town. This is Stephen. And so when he passed, they called me immediately. I was out west. I was on an assignment. I just broke down crying because we really was like brothers. We talked all the time. We laughed all the time. And so he loved baseball. And it was only the right thing to do to have that field in Immokalee, the community he served for almost 20 years, named after him, because he gave his life into Immokalee. And I always begged him, please do not leave Immokalee, Florida, and come over here to Naples and deal with the bureaucracy. I said, man, they need you here in Immokalee. And he was like, Larry, I'll try to stay here as long as I can. And he really did until the day he left us. He just left us physically, but he definitely have not left me spiritually. He's here. He lived within all of us. And so when I reached out to my friend, Commissioner McDaniels, he was like, Larry, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. And I'm in D.C. For those who don't know, I'm Congressman Byron Donald, Senior Advisor. And he was like, Larry, we're going to get it done. We're going to table it. We're going to agenda it. And I've just been pushing. And I thank the rest of the county commissioners for making this happen as well. I mean, y'all doing a very good job for a very great man. And this park will be around when we long and gone and people want to know who is Sergeant Dodson. Thank you, and thank you for having such a great son. He meant the world to me.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if the board will indulge, I'd like to read the resolution that I'm going to give to Stephen's mother, if I may. And JJ, would you like, are you a captain now or chief, or what are you, captain? You want to say a few words? I don't mind at all. Why don't you come on and then I'll read. And this is Captain Carroll. It's hard for me to refer to him in his official title because he and I grew up together way back in the day. Of course, he's older than I am. So.
No. I am better looking though. So my interaction with Steve was work and personal. And to expound on Larry's take on Sergeant Dodson, he just didn't have a love for baseball. He was baseball. He umpired at the minor league level. He umpired within the community. He always had an open heart to making things better, particularly in that community. He was a very good friend of mine, a dear friend. The night that he passed, complete shock. And seeing his mom here today brings a little emotion to me. But Steve was a great cop. He understood what it was to deal with the community and how to make it better. And for that, I will be grateful. I learned many things from him on particularly patience, okay? And like Larry was saying, not everybody has to go to jail. That's not what it's about. It's about making our communities better. So, Ms. Dodson, thank you for raising a great son and a good friend of mine.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you.
Sir. And I'm going to read the resolution, and then if Ms. Dodson, if you'd like to say a few words, I would be very, very grateful. Please. So whereas Stephen J. Dodson's love of baseball started with his T-ball team at the age of 6, advancing through the youth leagues through the age of 18, and whereas Stephen's love of the game took him from player to umpire, graduating from the Harry Wendelstedt, that's a school of umpires. I should have read this in advance. Wendelstedt School of Umpires in the top 10 of his class in 1994, and whereas Stephen umpired for over 22 years in Little League, high school, college, semi-professional, and professional baseball games during these years, visiting more than 20 Major League Baseball stadiums. Whereas Sergeant Dodson, as he was known in his professional life, served for over 20 years with the Collier County Sheriff, nearly all of which in the Immokalee Patrol District, where being fluent in Spanish, he called bilingual balls and strikes when off duty in the evenings and on weekends. Whereas on August 7th, 2017, shortly after completing his shift in which he conducted multiple traffic stops and responded to several community calls for service, Sergeant Dodson suffered a fatal heart attack, which was determined by the U.S. Department of Justice to be in the line of duty. Whereas in 2019, Sergeant Dodson's name was added to the memorial wall for the Collier County Sheriff's Office. In 2021, the Law Enforcement Memorial Walls in Tallahassee and Washington, D.C., and the Greater Naples Officials Association now has an annual Stephen Dodson's Excellence in Umpiring Award. It is fitting and proper that a baseball field bear his name in the patrol district where he served, and I'm editorializing, and loved and protected his community. Therefore, now be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Collier County in the honor of Sergeant Dodson's sacrifice to Collier County, his commitment to the Immokalee community, and his dedication to the game he loved, the name the baseball field in Immokalee Community Park, the Stephen J. Dodson Memorial Baseball Field, and as directed to staff to install the appropriate signage. Therefore, be resolved on this day, January 25th, 2022. How about that? Ms. Dodson, if you would please honor us.
Someone just said that I didn't look 79, almost 80,
My goodness.
but I'm from West Virginia. Stephen was born when I was 10. And for those of you who knew my son, humor and contagious smile were two things he was known for. A lot of families, when their parents pass away, the children they receive a lot of things. They inherit a lot of things. As a mother, I got 103 baseball caps, 10,000 baseball, more than 10,000, probably 20,000 baseball cards, and 38 baseball jerseys. So what more would you want? Yes, he loved baseball. We planned all of Steve's father passed away in 99, but before that, when he was growing up, all of our vacations, we made sure we hit 2 or 3 major league stadiums. He loved baseball. And when they made him head of the umpires when he was 17, 18 years old in Palm Beach Gardens, he was very organized, and he loved it. He loved people. He was easy. He was a good kid. Yes, I miss him a lot, but he left a lot of things, and people still call and remind me of something good he did. And for Larry, I remember the night at the hotel. He was stranded in some airport, and everyone was trying to help him get that last flight to make it to Naples. And the month before Steve passed away, he would leave me different textbook sayings, and on text he would write. And one thing he said, Your life is an inspiration to the world. When I leave this world, I want to know that I inspired someone to be a better person. How many mothers can read that and not keep trying to do what their son wanted them? So thank you to everyone here, those of you I know that have done a lot of work and helped make this happen. Steve's brother, when the plaque or name or billboard or something is done, he will be here. He's just recovering from COVID, and he's a detective, head of the detectives in Riviera Beach, Florida. But thank you very much to all of you.
Yes, Ms. Dodson. Ms. Dodson, it's kind of out of Hoyle here. You folks can have a seat if you wish, but I wanted to give you, this is the actual resolution that's here. And it's also come to my attention that you like this.
I do.
So with my colleagues' indulgence, I'm going to bequeath that to you as well today, if you would please.
It is such an honor to be the mother of two law enforcement
My
officers.
mother is listening, and if you don't speak into the microphone.
Oh, it is an honor to be a mother of two law enforcement officers. I don't want to forget Steve's brother, Michael. He's a great cop also, and he loves life just like his brother did.
Thank you very much. So with that, I believe that I need to, well, we're going to do a picture. Let's do we'll do a photograph moment, and then we have a little bit of business to maintain, so.
Hi guys, on three, count three. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, she moved on the last one. And just as, for housekeeping purposes, I'm going to make a motion that we accept and adopt the resolution on behalf of Mr. Dodson.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, same sound, so moved. Thank you, Ms. Dodson. Thank you.
Can I say something?
You certainly may. I didn't even call upon you folks to speak if you would like to say
I
something.
just wanted to add, what a privilege it was to meet you, ma'am, and sir, you, and, Larry, your kind words. I did want to add that, we've had too many fallen officers, not only across the country, but just here locally. That placard that so many people walked by this morning, it was really touching. Those of you that were here when we invited people that were here for totally different reasons, not to just do a mass exit, how many people walked by and actually said a prayer, touched your son's placard. That placard there is provided by the Fallen Officers Foundation, and one of their founders is in the back there, Mr. Mike Randall. I'd ask him to stand up because he's going to make sure that his job and that of his fiancee, Rosemary Zor, their job, their total, passion in life is to make sure that that our officers and our first responders and even veterans who they honor, that they don't pass in vain, that they don't, they're not forgotten. They're always remembered. And something that's going to be coming before these county commissioners very soon is a memorial to possibly be built in one of our parks, possibly Sugden Park, and it will have your son's name on it if we all approve unanimously, and I have no doubt that we will. So there's things that are continuing, and your son's memory is not going to be forgotten here in Collier County, and we have great organizations here. And like I said, I wanted to highlight the Fallen Officers Foundation because Mike and Rosemary do so much to make sure that your son's legacy will always be remembered, and that of all of our officers that happen to fall on tragic times and leave families behind. So thanks, Mike, for being here, and for all that you continue to do for our officers in uniform. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner LaCastro. Commissioner Saunders.
Just real quickly, Commissioner McDaniel, thank you for bringing this forward. It's certainly a pleasure for me to be participating in honoring a fallen law enforcement officer. And I want to thank his family for their sacrifices. And Larry, I see your stuff on Facebook. I didn't realize how tall you were. You're always about this big on Facebook. Yeah, thank you for your comments.
Thank you very much. You're more than welcome to that. I'm bequeathing that, Michael. Got it, okay. All right, thank you.